I did not think I was going to be making this video. But yes, I have COVID-19, and because it's Hong Kong, I have been hospitalized. My story started when I was in quarantine after just having come back from Egypt.
It's Sunday, 26th of September, and I've just been woken up by a call from the hotel telling me that the CHP, Department of Health in Hong Kong, has told them that I've tested preliminary positive for COVID-19. I guess from the spit test that I did yesterday, so I've got to pack my things and I'll be off to hospital. Okay, yep, thank you. Thanks, bye. So then I just got a call from a nurse in the Department of Health, just asked me to confirm some details like my travel dates, occupation. I'm not really sure what relevance that is, and asking me all sorts of other questions and asking me about WhatsApp. So apparently I'm now meant to WhatsApp them my testing records, vaccination records, and well, I actually have 3 to 4 hours until the Department of Health comes and gets me, and that's even enough time for some lunch. But as I was going out to get some lunch, I found this outside my door. All my bags are packed, I'm ready to go. It's been 4 hours now since they called me, and so far no one yet, but I have packed my bags. On the advice of a friend, I separated my core baggage and then a pile of stuff that I really don't need with me, like my scuba diving gear. So, yeah, whenever the CHP is ready, I'm ready. Hello. In 2 hours' time. Okay, thank you. Bye. So still another 2 hours to wait. Just relax, I guess. So far today I've been pretty upbeat by the whole thing. Maybe it just hasn't sunk in yet, but hey, it is what it is, and can't do anything about it. Things that went through my mind was kind of like, oh, where did I pick it up? It's some obvious companies, but it's all fairly irrelevant. And yeah, we'll see what happens when we get to hospital. So far I took my temperature just now as well with the thermometer that they gave me. Haven't been doing it, but I'm pretty sure I haven't had a temperature up till now. Even when I took it just now, I don't have a temperature, so pretty confident I don't have any symptoms at all. So I'm in the ambulance over to North Lantau Hospital, and so far I've had my temperature taken in the ear, had I think my pulse oxygen taken, and also my blood pressure. I'm here now at the North Lantau Infection Control Center, which is actually right next to Asia World Expo. I guess I should be a little bit fortunate because I've got myself the entire room, which is not always the case. They did say to me that, after a couple of days or something, I might be joined by some others, but for now, I have a room to myself. So when I got in, they took my measurements, height, weight, and then they introduced me to a station where every day I would take my own vital signs like temperature, pulse oximetry, and blood pressure. Maybe twice a day, they said I'll have a consultation with a doctor. And also they will do a nasal oral swab PCR test for me either every day or every other day depending on the CT count. So I guess this is where I'm going to be for the next minimum 10 days. Based on all those readings, I still have no symptoms, no fever, nothing like that. So it's kind of weirdly exciting, I guess. You know me, I'm all about unusual adventures and experiences, so this is one of them, I guess. So I guess a little tour of my room while we're at it. This is the entrance door where we came in, which is some sort of, not quite vacuum, but definitely there's like a air space that they keep so that both doors can't open at the same time. Then over here is me in my bed for the next 10 days at least. I'm very fortunate that they haven't got anybody next to me, but I don't know whether that will change. As I mentioned, all of these other beds are currently unoccupied, so hopefully that stays for at least most of the duration of my stay. And here is where we have a sort of station where we monitor our vital signs and things every day, twice a day. I didn't really fully understand that. Apparently that TV here also works for some entertainment, but I think I'll be sticking to my own laptop and Netflix and things like that. If the internet works, we shall see. Over here, there's a sink for hand washing, and into this door, there is a very nice large shower. Don't know what the water pressure is like, but it's big. And of course, a toilet and another sink. So, home for the next 10 days or so. Thank you, COVID.
Basically, for most of the patients who right now being admitted and they have vaccinated, the symptom is very mild or even being asymptomatic without any symptoms.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't worry. We stay tuned in hospital. It's most part is not because of your physical condition, but because of the infection control measurement. So just to brief you on the situation, because in Hong Kong the situation is quite different from the other countries. Like Western countries, they just require patients to stay at home to self-quarantine. But in Hong Kong, because the vaccination rate, maybe the government think it's not good enough, so they still prefer a better infection control measure.
Understood.
So please understand the situation. Okay.
We've all got various opinions about how useful or required these measures are, but hey, as I say, it is what it is. This video is not about that. Maybe at the end I'll give some thoughts after I've gone through the whole experience. But they did confirm that I had the Delta variant of the coronavirus detected. So usually that requires me to have a minimum 10-day stay here, which is what I'm prepared for. And dinner is here. So we have some, I think like a curry chicken, some dal, and some rice and naan bread. Ooh, and some Vita soy drink and fruits and cake. Wow. Now I don't know whether they've got my order wrong because there is no meat in this, but the curry itself is really quite flavorful, so not complaining. I can live without meat for one meal, but I probably will check with them that they did get my meal choice correct after this. After dinner, more tests. They wheeled in this what's called X-ray machine, so got a chest X-ray and also an ECG, and they also took a whole bunch of blood from me, like a lot of blood. So I was wondering, because I thought maybe they would only do antibodies tests, but they were doing like kidney function, blood cell count, and all sorts of things, like pretty much the whole works that I have when I do like an annual health checkup. So they'll find out everything about me. So. Today, my second day in the hospital, I've actually been feeling quite tired, so I've been sleeping a lot. If I had to compare it to something, it's quite similar to how I think I felt after I got my second dose of the COVID vaccine. I made a separate video of that, so check that out if you're interested in my experience of that. So I've been sleeping a lot and been pretty tired, but otherwise my temperature, my other signs have been pretty normal, so I don't know, we'll see if the symptoms develop or not. Earlier this morning I also had a consultation with a doctor who told me that my CT count was around 15, so that's a fairly high viral load. The higher the number, the lower the viral load. So I think they said if you get to count about 33, then they consider you actually negative. So that's it, day 2 for me. I guess this process just keeps repeating, and they'll just keep monitoring and waiting for my body to fight the COVID-19 infection, which fingers crossed shouldn't be too long, seeing as I've been fully vaccinated by the BioNTech vaccination, but we'll see. Today is day 4 here in the hospital, and I've been told that the sample that I submitted yesterday came back with a CT value of 26, which is an improvement from the test that they did on me on day 1 upon arrival here in the hospital, which came back with a CT value of 15. As I've said before, just gotta wait for my body to continue to fight the infection, but hopefully I'm moving in the right direction. Today is pretty much a whole week since I was brought here, and I've not been in the best of moods. Earlier today, the doctor told me that the results from my swab test yesterday came back with a CT value of 20, which is a little bit worse than it was in the last 2 tests. Now, they did say that CT values do fluctuate throughout the process, so nothing to be really concerned about, but still, it's a little bit disheartening. Symptoms-wise, though, nothing serious, but I have been having a bit of a sore throat, and my voice today is going a bit. And 2 days ago, I also realized that actually I'd lost most of my sense of smell, which makes eating and stuff just that little bit less enjoyable. Oh, and today is my birthday. Today I'm feeling much better about things. I got told that the swab test that they did on me yesterday came back with a value of CT value of 30, which is not too far off the 33 that I'm aiming for. I also woke up this morning feeling quite good, so you know, these things do fluctuate a little bit, but hopefully this is a sign that I'm sort of nearly there. I've kind of had enough of staying in the hospital, to be honest. Also, I'm cheered up today because my friend Nick brought me all of these yummy goodies that I'm not really sure like I'll actually be able to finish all of these here. In fact, I hope that I'm not long enough to finish all of these goodies, but it was just so nice not just to have stuff brought, but also to see a familiar face. He was out there in the bus terminus waving at me. We had a nice little chat, and actually yesterday my friend Scott also came and, you know, waved at me from the window and stuff, so that's been really nice.
But what would be nicer is for me to be actually out there. So hopefully we're not too far off me getting out of this place.
I am so happy I have had the best news, which maybe you can guess that they've just told me that I can be discharged today. This was actually really exciting and unexpected because this morning when I spoke to the doctor, my CT count was, at 28 from yesterday. It wasn't there yet. I haven't got antibodies, but they took some blood today. And I must have had the antibodies and crossed the CT33 threshold, so I'm very, very excited. Today, coincidentally, is also the end of my 14-day quarantine order, which means that I don't have to go back to the hotel, faff about with, checking back in and all that stuff, and I can go home here at midnight, so... All my bags are packed, I'm ready to go.
I made a full recovery from COVID-19. That's worth a like for this video, right? I've been hiking up hills, I've been running, I've been dancing, and I feel fit and healthy. So, go on, click that like button, you want to. On a more serious note, however, I am really, really grateful that my symptoms were only mild and I made a full recovery relatively quickly. This is almost certainly in big part because I was vaccinated against COVID-19. Sure, you might say I got infected anyway, but do remember that the main purpose of the vaccine is to prevent severe disease, hospitalization, and death. And vaccinated individuals also recover from disease and clear the virus from the systems much quicker. So if you haven't already, then I do urge you, please, please, please go and get vaccinated. I'm also really grateful that I got discharged and got out of hospital when I did, because earlier this week, Hong Kong announced that for all patients who are discharged with actually more stringent clinical criteria, they would have to do 14 additional days in quarantine. So this means that I would have had to spend a minimum of 24 days and likely longer in hospital and additional quarantine, which is just ridiculous. The clinical criteria means that somebody is no longer infectious. And in Hong Kong, there have been over 10,000 people who have recovered, been discharged. And guess how many of us, 10,000, have gone on to infect somebody else? Yep, 0. 0 out of 10,000. So nobody's infectious. We're still maintaining this zero COVID that Hong Kong so loves. But here we are in Hong Kong. So before I get myself into any trouble, I'm going to leave this video here. But do leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of my experience having COVID and then being hospitalized. Was it what you thought it would be like? And if you have any questions at all, then do leave me a comment and I will do my best to reply to them. And I really would appreciate it if you did click the like button. So if you could do that now, and maybe also consider subscribing to my channel for more unusual adventures around the world. Yeah! But hopefully no more vlogs from hospitals. Coming up next are my videos from the amazing adventure I've just had in Egypt. It really, really was such a special time to visit this spectacular country. This is the tomb of Ramses VI, and it is just incredibly peaceful. The sarcophagus is broken but still here. Actually worth getting COVID for. So make sure you are subscribed and I will see you guys in the next video.